Hello everyone, and welcome back to The Legend of Zelda Tightrope Act Princess. In this part, we get through most of the City of the Sky.
You didn't add Twilight this time, Ted. And you didn't add it to Marilyn Monroe Princess either.
He was holding on to that for a while.
My point is proven.
He was waiting for it.
Whatever. Okay, you know what? So anyway, for once in our lives, I was trying to bring up a discussion about the goddamn game. But whatever. Anyway.
Why would you ever want to do that?
That was fun.
I don't know. Because people still sometimes expect it of us, which is weird. I know, right? Because, it's like, we've been doing this for how long? And I mean, granted, I suppose that it could be people who are new, which I suppose, is fine. But then again, this is also part 58 of Twilight Princess. And if you don't know our shtick by part 58, then I don't even know. But
yeah, safe to assume that if you're still here, you're a dedicated watcher of BrainScratch.
Or you just really hate us.
Started at the Sky Temple or something.
Who starts at 58?
Someone does. Someone out there is like, "Hello, what is this?" I see Sky Temple. I will watch.
Probably.
It happens, yeah. Sometimes I do it. I don't watch the whole video like that. I just sort of watch enough to see, okay, do I like this YouTuber? Then yeah, I'll go watch part 1 sometime, and then I turn it off and usually
the kind of guy
that
goes to a commentary channel and bitches about them talking about the
what I am is the kind of guy who buys Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows at launch, rides home on the bus, and peeks at the Prince's Tale on my way home before reading the book. Which is,
Why?
Because I'm terrible about spoilers, okay? I watched the ending to Devil May Cry 5 before I got the game.
You see, I can't...
That seems backwards.
I can't do that. I can't do it like that, I guess, is the thing. What I'm guilty of when it comes to spoiling myself is I'll be like, ooh, this character's interesting. I want to know more about them. And then I Google them, and then it says something like, so-and-so death scene. And then I'm like, oh, no.
I've done that.
When Kamina dies in episode 11 or whatever it is.
Yeah, just don't ever look up a wiki for a character from either Game of Thrones or Attack on Titan, because that's always going to happen.
Yeah. Or Danganronpa.
Or a Walking Dead. No, I said Walking Dead.
A Walking
Dead.
Dead.
Just never wiki a character ever.
Oh no! Zombies! They're everywhere.
Don't dead open inside.
I didn't hear that as walk-in. I heard it as a walk-in.
Don't dead open inside.
Oh.
What is that even supposed to mean?
And now I'm thinking of that.
Oh, no.
Now I'm thinking about that Twitter post. Words that rhyme: red, bed, bread, dead. And the fourth picture is just a picture of Eris.
He bit me. Shame on you.
You see, that was a Twitter hashtag discussion a couple of days ago. It was like, should we spoil Final Fantasy VII for people who haven't played it?
It's a 20-year-old game.
On the one hand, yes, it is a 20-year-old game. But on the other hand, if you haven't heard of it now, we're kind of being a dick.
Well, on the other hand, it's a 20-year-old game that's also widely available on basically everything,
including the system the remake is going to be on.
Yeah, so you don't have an excuse.
Well, I mean...
Well, other than just not wanting
kinda.
to play a really archaic-looking game, which, I honestly would sympathize with if I hadn't been exposed
all
to it
things
back in the day.
considered, other than the graphics, Final Fantasy VII holds up pretty well gameplay-wise.
It's so lucky that this P-hat just goes back and forth through this one crack in the wall and never flies over anything that would get in the way of your claw
Part
shot.
of the dungeon's design doesn't have a
Anyway,
mind of
what were you
its own.
saying, Tad?
Gameplay-wise, FF7 holds up pretty fine.
Yeah.
Well, that helps. It helps that it's a turn-based RPG.
Still, though, RPGs, as long as they're not glitchy, have that benefit of aging
turn-based
pretty well.
RPGs can be poorly aged. I would say, outside of the dungeon gameplay, which is still beautiful, the original Wild Arms, the battle graphics and the battle gameplay and everything, and Wild Arms 2 as well.
You know what I mean, though. As long as the gameplay, as long as it's well built, it will age much better than a lot of other
You can say that
genres.
for any genre.
Also, the early Persona
No, not
games.
not necessarily. A lot of people bitch about N64 game design.
Yeah, like N64, like GoldenEye, for example, the controls for that game have not aged very well.
The controls.
Yeah. I would say though, I don't know, because I'm just going with what you're saying. As long as it's well built.
The controls.
Well, it's more. I guess we're talking more about the design of the game itself.
The controls
as
for
opposed to
any first-person shooter on consoles before Alien Resurrection haven't aged well. But you know that
not inherently the point, Liz.
Yeah, I know. It's just GoldenEye was designed for an N64 controller, and I don't think anyone in their right minds in the year of our Lord 2019 would ever say the N64 had a good controller for that kind of gameplay. So
it did the best with what it had. I'll say that.
Yeah, it did. Perfect Dark uses the same control scheme, I think. It's still fun to play. It's just odd. Very odd.
I mean, back then we didn't really know any better, too, so...
Yeah.
So,
I
mean, it was just like, hello, shooting game, hooray.
You know, it's weird, because some games feel fine when I play them on different controllers, and when I'm talking about N64 games. And some games just feel wrong without it. For example, Paper Mario, I know that this has the benefit of, Thousand Year Door existing. But I can play the Wii Virtual Console port of Paper Mario using a GameCube controller, and it feels fine. But if I play something like the Banjo games using a Xbox controller for the Xbox Live ports, it just feels weird not having the N64 controller for that due to the way that they have you combine Z with the C buttons a lot in
I know
those
what
games.
you're talking about, and I can see it for some games, but I don't think Banjo-Kazooie really.
Yeah, I was gonna say my
weird.
first exposure to Banjo-Kazooie was the Xbox Live port, and
I think what hurts is that you started on the N64.
It
and
plays,
I played it so much on
it
that.
plays really well. Yeah. So
I started on the N64. Granted, it was a long time ago, but it still feels okay to me.
It's this is not quite the same, but Sonic Colors on the Wii has so many damn controller outputs, but I can't play it on anything else but the GameCube.
Well, that's because you're a sheeple, John. All right.
I thought I was a guy. But,
well, that might have something to do with the Wii Classic controller and the other controller options all being more awkward than a GameCube controller, just by design.
Well, the classic controller.
I would say classic is more traditional.
Well, like if you use, especially the button layout on a classic controller is fine. If you're using like the original one with the rounded
when I
base.
say awkward, I generally mean the way you hold it, which does have an effect on how you feel using the button layout.
The Wii Classic controller is way too small for us grown man hands.
What Ted was saying, I think that holds truer if you've got like the Gen 1 classic.
The classic controller Pro is a beautiful controller.
Oh yes. Yes,
I love that thing.
But I don't think the Classic Controller Pro was out at the same time as it was out as early as Colors.
No.
So,
it wasn't too long after though, because I think it was like 2012, 2013 maybe.
Yeah, but it was long enough after that most of us who were playing Sonic Colors had already had our fun with the game and either traded it in or left it on a shelf to collect dust for a while. So I didn't have a Classic Controller Pro when I was playing that game. I'll say that. Oh,
Link, your aim sucks.
If only it had a crossbow.
Man, video game pathfinding at its best, I always love it when video games have pathfinding that's just bad enough to always lead to hilarious lockups. Baldur's Gate is my favorite when it comes to that because your party just gets stuck on everything. Your party gets stuck on obstacles in the environment. Your party gets stuck on each other.
So one of my favorite / least favorite examples of this is Fire Emblem Awakening. There's an early extra mission in that game where you have to save some farmers from enemy Pegasus. No, not Donald.
Oh.
It's the one with the Pegasus Knights that are flying directly towards them. And these NPCs think it's really, really smart to keep walking in the direction of the Pegasus Knights. And you're like, why? Why would you do that? And the annoying thing is that since the pair-up mechanic was added in Fire Emblem Awakening, you can't just pick them up and move them somewhere else, like if you were playing one of the older ones. So you just have to like build a wall of units around these random Death Wish farmers so that they don't get themselves killed, pretty much.
They're lemmings, yeah.
Well, the video game version of Lemmings,
yes.
Anyway.
That's usually the one most people refer to at this point, anyway.
Did you know that Lemmings, like the idea of Lemmings falling off the cliff?
Yeah, Disney just threw them off cliffs.
Yeah, because it was Disney just making a cartoon about it, and people just assumed that it was true for some reason. It's weird.
People are dumb.
People are very dumb. Also, is that poison ivy that we're climbing on? Because I really hope not.
Yeah.
I think it's just a regular vine.
No, we're wearing fingerless gloves, right?
Yeah, of course we're wearing fingerless gloves. That's how cool heroes do it, John.
It's because
I can't rock fingerless gloves. I don't know. There's something.
I don't get the point.
It's meant to protect. It's meant to protect the palm of your hands from getting all roughed up by a sword or a motorcycle handle, because you're constantly either rotating your hand around it in the case of a motorcycle handle, or
we need to protect your palms beneath the precision of your fingers.
Or you're swinging a sword and that causes friction between the sword and your hand, and you don't want that to rough up your skin too much,
Yeah, but not all your skin. Some of your skin.
Well, your fingers aren't going to be gripping it quite as tightly as your palm is. That might sound weird, but your palm carries the brunt of that force.
Also, your palm sweats a lot more too.
That as well, yeah. Sweat is a problem.
So the one thing, though,
blisters ahoy,
is that most people who have them aren't like motorcycle riders or sword fighters. They're just people, and I'm like, is only your palm cold? Like, well no, because Michael Jackson only wore one fingerless glove.
Okay, so. As you know, I work at an Amazon warehouse, all right? And, most days I would kill for to be permitted to just wear fingerless gloves there, because I have to do everything with a pair of safety gloves on. I have to, handle products with a pair of safety gloves in.
Why did that guy not get crushed and die?
I have to use a computer mouse with a pair of safety gloves on. I have to use a touchpad mouse with a pair of safety gloves on. That's gross. I have to type with a pair of safety gloves on.
Oh, go.
Well, you can never be too safe.
Oh, God. Dear Lewis, how do you type with safety gloves?
The answer is I look around really carefully to make sure my manager isn't watching, and then I take them off and type with
the same way Balrog records video inputs with boxing gloves on. He just does.
No, that was a Strong Bad reference, John.
Oh, well, no, you see, I haven't watched Strong Bad over a decade.
I have no idea what that even is.
It just kind of flew over
Homestar Runner? Oh my God, Lewis, you have to look up homestarrunner.net. It's .com. Oh, sorry, homestarrunner.net. It's .com. Cut. Okay, look, that was literally all I did in middle school was watch Homestar Runner videos. So I have basically the entire videography of the site memorized to a T. And if you get me going, especially if some of my old friends are with me, I could probably just recite the whole thing or sing all of the songs and whatnot. It's
so one of the circle of friends brings up Homestar Runner and Ted emerges from the floor like a T-1000. Well, it's like, are we talking Homestar Runner?
No, it's still a thing where we'll be where if one of my friends want me to do something, they'll go free bagels at the water cooler, and I'll be like free bagels, and then you'll and nobody will get it unless if you.
Right. It's fine. I'm not judging. I'm like that with The Simpsons.
Okay, because I haven't watched The Simpsons, so whenever all these new memes come up, I'm like, I don't get it.
If I hear anything remotely referencing the first 10 seasons, I'm just going nuts.
I thought it was the first 8 seasons.
I haven't seen either Homestar Runner or The Simpsons.
Meanwhile, I'm just that guy that's
out of the loop.
Meanwhile, I'm just that guy that sees like social media posts. J.K. Rowling confirms new theory, and I'm like, she confirmed that 5 years ago. Shut up.
So wait, because. Okay, but what was your thing that you watched obsessively like that? Because everybody has
watched
that thing.
Nothing, read plenty. I was never that much of a television person.
You simpletons.
I was never that much of a television person. I was always video games and books. So,
That'll explain all the video game books you read.
Yeah. I mean...
Well, I mean, if the two interests collide, I don't see why you wouldn't.
What am I doing right now?
You need to go get the orb above the door.
Oh, right. Yeah, because we have to.
You need to turn the paddles.
Yeah, so that we can do the thing. This dungeon does take a long time, which I know. This was actually.
It's the longest one in the game.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. So this was actually what I was trying to talk about at the beginning of the part, but screw screw discussion about relevant gameplay. I suppose we'll probably end up talking.
Hey, you had an opportunity to bring it back
Ted,
during your Homestone Runner.
What are you doing?
Tangent.
Ted,
you didn't do it.
You can't get there from here.
No, I can. Watch.
This is so much more roundabout than just hookshotting to.
No, I can do it. Watch.
You should have just hookshotted to the pillar that was slightly closer to your target.
No, look, because now I'm right in front of it. It's genius.
You would have been right in front of it and 2 feet to the left of where you are if you had just hookshotted to the other pillar.
No, I got it. See, look, I did it. I'm smart, Mom.
The other pillar, right next to you.
Hey, as long as it works.
All that matters is the destination, not the means.
No.
Even though my means might severely piss him off.
See if Cloud Strife agrees with you when the bomb clock is ticking down. Okay? I'm pretty sure they were trying to make their way out as fast as they could.